Sometimes I amaze myself with my delivery. I stay low and work to blow, that's how the city be. Grittily paying my dues, observing crews, acting gangster. But they
my name is Op. I'm one half of a hip-hop group called Foundation Movement. E-Rock is the other half. And we've been together since 2001. And through music, music is one of the tools that we use in terms of promoting the message of peace.
Foundation. What about love? 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 We live in the misery, it's no mystery, dude. You watching it on TV, but we live in the news. Ready to win, cause I'm afraid of what I do if I lose. Choosing the road less traveled to unravel the truth.
Hip-hop as a culture, you know, I always like to state, is an alternative to violence. Right, so it gives people and it empowers people to use a form of expression to deal with conflict. When you have conflict with somebody and you use your art to do that, it actually makes each person better.
I battle anyone who objects to this. The lyrics compared to mine is like firecrackers to nuclear bombs. I'm destroying countries, you just making sounds. I'm like a mind, straight actions, I don't mess with clowns. That's a little off topic, don't lose me now.
And also you have to sharpen your mind, right? So it's like sharpen the words, sharpen your cadence, what beats are you using, who's around, and you have to really be in tune to your environment.
I know Rochester goes through things here. You know, I've been learning about that here in Rochester. That's something that I think we don't do enough across the United States. Cities do not understand, suburb cities. People don't understand, you know, the violence that's happening across the board, that people are losing their lives, and that far too often we can, unfortunately, relate to what it means to be burying young people and for our young people to be attending more funerals than they do graduations.
In Boston, I'm a public school teacher of Liberian lineage. My father's from Liberia. My mother's from New Bedford, Massachusetts.
My name is E-Rock. I'm from Boston as well, by way my family is from Puerto Rico. And I'm just happy to be in Rochester and doing the work. We're going on over a decade now.
Over a decade?
Of performing, touring. I've had the opportunity now to hit multiple continents, countries in Africa and Asia, Japan. We were in Japan, Tanzania, Palestine, Cuba. It's been wonderful taking messages of social justice, peace all over the globe and in the country.
Yeah. I feel, and I know Rock does too, we feel fortunate that we've been blessed to be able to travel and have an understanding that some people don't necessarily have the means or resources or opportunity to leave the community that they were born in. And since we have been able to travel, it's also shaped in terms of our view of the world. And I think we are also able to bring that and share that, and also being able to connect that on our local level.
Everywhere that we have been, the reception has always been that people are looking for and wanting to be a part of community, love, respect. People want people to appreciate their life, to value their life, to simply acknowledge that their life is worth something and that it's simply that they exist.
I'm not a zombie, they can't stop me. Even with an army, hardly. Even when I'm gone, I will carry on. My purpose in the pain that fall through my soul. Not afraid of death, I cherish every breath. I'm grateful I exist, I find bliss. Live for the moment, cause the next might be it. I don't wanna be you, I'm not a regular kid. I wanna be me, not who you think I should be. I wanna be free, and together we could be.
A lot of times, you know, we talk about this. It could be, people be like, oh, look at how long it takes him to cross the street.
True.
He just wants you to see him. It sounds silly, right? But subconsciously, they're saying, look at me. Like, I exist. Looking at how that evolved, a lot of what I look at was what was missing from me. And then also what was not. What helped me feel like I was in a place where I am somebody, that my life was worth something. And then thinking, all right, well, if those things helped me, then how can I help to offer them or share that with other people? And not only do you matter, but you are. We need you. It's not just that I see you. It's that, you know, we need you. And we know that you know that you can make a difference. How can we help you to continue to expound on that?
This is the season for nonviolence, and you guys are here in Rochester doing workshops with the youth of Rochester. I'm gonna throw this one out there, but each of you answer this one. What's your definition of nonviolence?
There's one particular just definition of nonviolence that I go to, and that would be a place where there is peace and justice. I also see nonviolence as the only response, one that is geared in love, that I think in the end will help us as humanity kind of survive and find peace.
Can't clear specs is my vision, listen, seek the wisdom. Kept close to black folk, hold on to every breath, no rewind or sound check. Or sometimes I felt less, thought your life unimportant, equivalent to a fresh pair of Air Jordans. Addicted to streets like the thieves in the night, searching for fortune in the ruins, not valuing life. I turn for advice, sacrifice my wants for needs. Talk to read, speak out with words sparingly, caringly. Some deceased, wake a nation at sleep. Got promises to keep and these mouths to feed. I seen.
And when people think nonviolence, you know, their minds, rightfully so, kind of go right to, at least in the work we've been in, kind of like street violence, physical, obvious, see it in the news, violence.
Yo, it's the enemy, fear. Yo, it's the enemy, fear. Yo, it's the enemy, fear. Listen. Fear is the enemy, hate is his nickname, love is the remedy, jealousy is sick game, only God can judge, grateful for the blessings, fight hate with love, every day a lesson, reflections of light as I'm fighting this depression, we'll shine bright, of that there's no question.
And those same people that see that tend to ignore the violence that is being put on people, whether it is with a lack of resources, a lack of food, clothes, shelter, lack of an ability to feed their family.
Hold on, clearly power and strength. Hold my knees begging, shaking, praying. Lord, forgive me. Change I want to see before I'm 70. Grant me serenity to love my enemies.
And I also think of violence as anything that's against life. That might be in terms of the way that systems work, right? So in terms of education, if I don't care about you as a person, maybe I'm not going to teach you about your history. Maybe I'll make you learning about your own history illegal, so you don't know about why you should be proud about who you are.
Whether it go from King, who attributed it to Gandhi, and Gandhi, who attributed it to saying nonviolence was from all time, you know, from all time before. So just a place of looking at another person as an extension of you in this web of humanity, and what's done to you is done to me, and therefore accepting that you know, your life is as important as mine, and that your right to live it is as important as my right to live mine.
But I'm gonna go back to hip hop. Hip hop is a genre that surpassed the disco era as far as been around. How can we keep hip-hop alive and make sure that it sticks around and doesn't fade away?
So when I think about hip-hop and the origin of hip-hop music, I think of something on the cutting edge of technology, right? I think of cutting edge of technology, and I also think of access that people have. And so with those two things, as long as we have technology, right, and as long as we have people, hip-hop can take on the elements of other musical forms. So that's why I think one of the reasons why it's been able to last so long.
And who are we letting and allowing to decide what it is that we approve of for our ears? You know, you know, I know Dead Prez was like, I don't have to like it even if they play it a lot. Just because it's on radio rotation all the time. There are 5 to 6 maybe corporations that own all these stations. So what gets played and what goes through the filter is going to be selected for you. I don't know about you, but I like to be the kind of person that selects things for myself and have more options. And look, we don't have to allow these folks to dictate what we listen to anymore. That's the great equalizer of the internet. So hopefully people will take advantage of that.
Shouts going out to Wings and Fracture Core, and actually that was a group that we got to see perform and spit with in terms of a cypher here in Rochester.
Danielle Ponder's out here.
And Danielle Ponder's out here as well. And so, you know, that question was also posed to Mos Def, and Mos Def said, you know, if you want to know where hip hop is going, you know, ask yourself, where are you going? Right? And so if we're part of this culture, the real question is, where do you want that to go?
The pain, the suffering, the game, the thugging, the fame, the loving. What about love? 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 Yo, love's in the blankets. My parents was no heat at night. The passion Ma put in the food to make sure we was eating right. The time she took to give me books and teach me how to read and write. My history and self-worth, which taught me how to see the light. It's in my niece's voices, their spirits and their hopes, and playing doo-rock with the fellas, sitting back and cracking jokes. It's in the poems of Neruda, Espada and Hoagland, conversations building from Dar es Salaam to Oakland. It's in revolution and the resistance of the people. It's the feeling I get when I set foot in Puerto Rico. It's the music, the culture, the art of expression. It's the blessings, the lessons in your heart when you're stressing. It's in the air if you put it there, with positive vibrations and the work to build a future for the next generation. So I perpetuate hate with fake studio thugs. The question remains the same, homie. What about love?
The pain, the suffering, the gain, the thugging, the fame, the loving. What about love? And what about love? Quadruple homicide define the city that I'm from. So many murdered in the streets, so many died in the slums. And you try to be Gotti, I try to be Gandhi. At least I try to be the change that I wanna see. Striving for peace in a world so cold with murders and beef. After hardship come relief. History telling me we were oppressed and now we're repressed. Regress for checks to get financial respect in pursuit of happiness. But the fact is, past this, we love more for sure when we was dealing with less. Opulence fog our conscience, hate bogs our progress. Common sense less often, if you've got it you're blessed. Note to self, express emotion so the people know it's felt. De-escalate commotion with the hand you were dealt. And honestly we'll be more able, more stable, more capable to peel the soft off the label when we talk about love.
The pain, the suffering, the gain, the thugging, the fame, the loving.